One time, one of my orchestras was playing the Carrie Lane-Grussell arrangement of Over the Sea to Skye, and an administrator just happened to be passing by the classroom at this time while we were playing it. And later that day, she came to my office, and she was like, "Oh, you guys are doing Outlander. That's great." And I didn't know what she was talking about. I don't know what Outlander is. The only Outlander I know is from Elder Scrolls 3.
Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander. Outlander. Outlander.
Outlander. Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander. Outlander. Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander. Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander. Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander.
Outlander. Scum.
I'm often in these social situations where I'm talking to a non-music person. You ever do that? And we're trying to communicate, and we're just missing each other left and right. Like nothing's making sense. And this was one of those situations. And so like, she's like, "Is that Outlander?" I'm like, I don't know Outlander. So I just started explaining to her. It's like, hey, we're playing the song. It was originally written by Annie McLeod in the 1800s, and it was originally called Kusheng Nakaba, and it was a rowing song. They were just, kind of rowing. And the words were originally Roland and John, but I guess their publisher at the time, I guess people were kind of obsessed with princes and princesses and that kind of stuff. So they changed the text, and they changed the title to Over the Sea to Skye so that it would sell better. You think that ever happens today with our music? I don't know. But anyway, I guess it's kind of like the 2010s, how everybody was obsessed with zombies. I guess they were obsessed with the Prince Across the Water theme, and it was just showing up everywhere. So they branded it that way so they could sell it. But she stood there confused, and eventually I went and looked up the show, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's the same melody. Yeah, Outlander. Anyway, if you're a high school director and you haven't played Carrie Lane-Grussell's arrangement of Over the Sea to Skye, you need to. It's a beautifully written piece. The melody's beautiful anyway, but the arrangement's very good. If you are going to contests and you're a high school director and you're 6A high school, you got a non-varsity going, you need that 3A requirement, this could be the piece for your group, all right? It's not a gimme, but look, it's a minute long, that's it. Just 1 minute, 60 seconds worth of music. It's not that long. There's some techniques in here. There's some stuff for violas that you're gonna have to work out, a little bit of shifting, but as far as grade 3s go, you could get this to sound really good and impress some judges at a contest if you teach it right. It is very accessible to your kids, but it also has a lot of musicality to it. It's got great 4-bar phrasing most of the time. Sometimes they're written as 2-bar phrases, which we'll get into later. I kind of disagree with that, but the sky's the limit, no pun intended, on what they could do with this piece musically. There's a lot they can do expressively in this work to tell that story. There is a third violin part to kind of help you out if your viola section is struggling, or if you don't have a lot of violas. They do have melodic material. The B theme, it's all violas for the first phrase, and then the second violins get it for the second phrase. But there's a statement of the A theme where the first violins are all in third position. Fortunately, the second violins are doubling them down the octave most of the time. And if you've got kids in the first violin section that really can't play that very well, you can have them play it down an octave too. It's not against the law. Now, if you have everybody play it down the octave, somebody's probably going to notice. I would definitely notice. So you should at least have one kid playing the upper octave, getting those high Ds, or else somebody's probably gonna say something about it. There's some chromatic alterations and some stepwise passages that are a little tricky in the inner voices, and there are some C sharps on the G string, so they're gonna have to learn how to extend for those and learn that augmented or 3/4 finger pattern. But other than that, you play this with your group a couple times, they start getting it and they start getting into it, and it's very beautiful, and it's a piece that they like to play, and it's fairly easy to teach. But in this video series, I'm going to go over how to teach it quickly, how the most efficient way to teach certain things, how to deal with the rhythm, how to deal with the meter, how to deal with the bowings and all that stuff. You play it with them enough and they're going to get it just because it's very well written. But the idea is how quickly can you get them up to the level so that you can start working on all the musical stuff that's involved with Over the Sea to Skye. I've taken this arrangement to contests with at least a couple of orchestras, and I did really well with them with this. And so, it can be something that's in your rotation, or if you have a building year, you know what I mean, where you got kids coming up that aren't very strong and you got to take them to contests. Well, this might be a winner for them too. Now, there's another arrangement of this from Belwin, and it's arranged by Douglas Wagner. Actually, I'll put it up here to make it easier to see. I searched on the PML and it turns out that it's also a grade 3, but then I looked a little bit later and it's not a grade 3 for string orchestra. It's a grade 3 for SSA, women's choir. So sorry, it's not on the list. But if you're a middle school director, this arrangement's fair game, and it's pretty doable, and it's beautiful, and it's in 3/4 instead of 6/8, which makes it easier to read. And a lot of the challenges that are in Carrie Lane Groussel's version of it are not in the Belwin edition, the Wagner edition. Or is it Wagner? He probably says Wagner. In the next video, I'm going to give out some conducting tips for how to conduct over the C to Skye. I've seen some directors get up there and they look a little awkward trying to deal with the 6 meter, the 6/8 meter going where the 8th note gets the beat, and maybe just give you some ideas to develop your gestural vocabulary so that you can conduct expressively to your students and get them sounding better and not look so awkward on the podium. So hope to see you in the next video.